Nothing in this podcast or on our website should be construed as medical advice. Consult your healthcare provider for your individual nutritional and medical needs. The information presented is based on our research and is strictly that of the author and not necessarily those of any professional group or other individual.
Hi, I'm Sue Becker from Bread Beckers. Welcome to Sue's Healthy Minutes. I'm so excited you've joined me today, and I hope this episode encourages you and allows you to find the answers you have been praying for the health of you and your family. I know I've mentioned before how much I love the summer season. I love the fresh garden produce that becomes available, the roadside stands of fresh cucumbers, yellow squash, zucchini, corn, green beans, and of course, there is nothing like a homegrown tomato. And I love that summer usually brings lighter meal options, often cooked on the grill. While I do enjoy the comfort foods of fall and winter, like a bowl of hot soup for dinner or a warm bowl of oatmeal for breakfast, the summer makes those heavier, warming dishes not so appealing to me. As a family, we have always been big breakfast eaters. But for me, in the summer, a big breakfast just seems a bit heavy. So in the hot months of summer, I often prefer just a slice of bread or a muffin with a cold, refreshing smoothie. I love a yogurt or a milk Kiefer-based smoothie blended with some frozen fruit and sweetened with a little honey. This is the perfect combination of whole grain fiber and a healthy dose of our good gut organisms. But years ago, a friend broadened my choices for smoothie options. She joined us at Bread Beckers to teach a class on raw foods. She shared many great recipes, but the one that stuck with me all these years was a smoothie that included 3 raw foods that I had never heard of. I was a little hesitant at first to try them, but she strongly encouraged me to not only try them, but also to offer these raw foods at Bread Beckers. She knew that as people learned about them and tasted them, that they too would want to incorporate these nutrient-dense, delicious superfoods into their smoothie routine as well. So today, I thought I would share my favorite summer super energy shake recipe with you, as well as introduce you to these raw superfoods that I use to make the shake. These 3 raw food powders, Maca, Cacao, and Lacuma, have become my go-to smoothie ingredients nearly every day since, and they never disappoint. I call this smoothie my Maca energy drink, as Maca is subtly energizing without the use of stimulants. There is no caffeine in this drink, just good old-fashioned nutrients. I want to share a few of the nutritional facts about Maca, Cacao, and Lacuma, and my basic recipe for my delicious energy shake. It is cold and refreshing and energizing, and if you are like me, you need a little energy to beat this summer heat and to keep you going with all your daily and summer activities, especially if you're vacationing and keeping up with kids is involved. So let's start with Maca. Maca is the root of a vegetable grown in the Andes region of Peru that has actually been cultivated for several thousand years. It is known as Peruvian ginseng, even though it doesn't belong to the family of ginseng at all. It is actually in the brassica family of vegetables, along with some vegetables you might be more familiar with, like cabbage, turnips, and radishes. Maca is mentioned in writings dating back as far as 1553, where it was regarded even then for its energizing and strength and endurance-giving effects. Maca grows in areas of extreme cold, yet intense sunlight and high winds, where nothing else seems to want to grow. While relatively unknown to many Americans, it is well known throughout Peru. But in the past 10 years, the interest and studies of maca's health-promoting benefits has increased significantly. Maca is high in minerals, especially calcium, magnesium, iron, potassium, and zinc, all those minerals we need. It is an excellent source of complete protein, supplying all of our essential amino acids, and it is a good source of fatty acids as well. Maca is what's known as an adaptogen food, meaning it helps your body better respond to stress, anxiety, and fatigue while helping to bring your body back to balance. In other words, it simply supports your overall well-being. Studies show that it is also very nourishing to the entire endocrine system, and it is known to help with adrenal stress and other hormone-related issues. It is important to note that maca does not contain any hormones, but rather contains all the nutrients that your body needs to support your own normal hormonal production. Maca seems to be particularly helpful for females with menstrual or menopausal symptoms and other hormone imbalances. But that doesn't mean it's not good for you guys as well. Maca is a whole food, so is generally recognized as safe to consume for everyone. But if you do have a diagnosed hormone-related issue and have concerns, then by all means, discuss with your medical advisor before using maca. Maca is known to increase stamina, energy, athletic performance, boost the immune system, strengthen bones, and improve memory, and especially mood. To put it simply, it just makes you feel good. Like mentioned earlier, maca is related to the turnips and radishes, but it has an odor and flavor very similar, I think, to butterscotch. In the United States, maca is often sold as an encapsulated supplement, but it is actually best consumed as a raw food powder that can be mixed into smoothies for a delicious high-energy breakfast, lunch, or mid-afternoon pick-me-up. It can also be sprinkled over your cereal, granola, or oatmeal for some added flavor and protein. Now, I must warn you here, you do not want to drink this maca shake too late in the day or in the evening unless you need to stay up all night. Though maca won't give you the jitters like caffeine or stimulants, it is definitely energizing. Take it from my experience. And of all the 3 raw food powders that I'm discussing today, maca is my must-have. The next raw food ingredient in my shake is raw cacao. Cacao has certainly risen in popularity since I first heard about it way back in 2007. It seems to be a familiar buzzword ingredient these days. So, what is it? Cacao is the bean that chocolate is made from. It grows in the tropical regions of the world, from South and Central America to the Dominican Republic to Tanzania or Madagascar. Raw cacao powder is created by cold pressing raw organic cacao beans into a pressed cake, separating the oil from the protein and fiber at temperatures well below 120 degrees. The remaining dry cakes are then cold ground and milled into a fine powdered raw cacao with all the nutrients of the raw bean intact. Cacao powder is similar to cocoa powder in flavor and function, but it's definitely more nutritious and much less processed than your regular cocoa powder for baking. Baking cocoa powders are exposed to temperatures as high as 300 degrees. In its raw state, cacao powder is very high in antioxidants and vitamin C, as well as a great source of fiber, providing as much as 4 grams in just 1 tablespoon serving. So, including cacao in my shake not only increases my fiber intake along with my slice of real bread or muffin, but it also satisfies my desire for a little chocolate. Raw cacao is also an excellent source of iron, magnesium, potassium, and even some protein. Cacao powder usually comes in 2 forms, fermented and unfermented. The unfermented has a milder flavor and a higher antioxidant content, while the fermented has a richer, more intense flavor. I use either one, and they both are delicious. Besides adding great nutrition to smoothies, combined with maca, cacao simply makes you happy. Last but not least of my 3 raw food ingredients is lucuma. Lucuma is a subtropical fruit, also native to South America. It is one of the most unusual tropical tree fruits that is grown in the Andean regions of Bolivia, Chile, Ecuador, and Peru. The fruit is about 3 inches long with an oval, curved shape, similar in appearance to an avocado, except that the flesh is yellow to orange, depending on the variety. And as it matures, like an avocado, the flesh becomes softer. The pulp of Lacuma has a distinctive sweet aroma, reminiscent of maple syrup or sweet potatoes. Just as with avocados, though, only the flesh is eaten. The skin and large seeds are discarded. Lucuma, as with most fruits, provides many trace minerals with considerable amounts of potassium, calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, and iron, as well as beta-carotene, the precursor of vitamin A, and the all-important vitamin B3, also known as niacin. Lucuma as a fruit is often paired with fruits such as bananas, lemons, pineapples, strawberries, and blueberries, but also pairs well with chocolate, caramel, cinnamon, vanilla, and even nuts. Since the fruit matures very quickly, it is difficult to find fresh lucuma here in the U.S. In some Latin markets, you may be able to find it in the frozen food section. The pulp of the lucuma, however, can be dried to produce lucuma powder. For centuries, lucuma has been used in Peru as medicine, and because of its high nutritional value, it was once referred to as the gold of the Incas. Today, studies done at Rutgers University concluded that lucuma may have anti-inflammatory and anti-aging effects, and it seems to significantly promote skin repair, wound healing, and even tissue regeneration. Lucuma is commonly used as a flavoring in Peru. It has a taste similar to maple or caramel. Some say pumpkin or sweet potato, and it is said to be a more popular flavor of ice cream than even chocolate or vanilla. It has a naturally sweet flavor that can add sweetness with less sugar to any beverage, smoothie, yogurt, cereal, or granola. Are you ready to add a little maca, cacao, and lucuma to your daily smoothie routine? Well, get your pen and paper ready to jot down my favorite summer super energy maca shake recipe. Or you can simply go to breadbeckers.com and search for maca under recipes. Or you can follow the link in this podcast description. So here is the basic recipe. It's super easy. 1 to 1.5 cups of milk, or your favorite alternative milk, 2 to 3 cubes of ice, 1 heaping tablespoon of maca powder, 1 tablespoon of cacao powder, 1 tablespoon of lucuma powder, and a squeeze of honey to taste. That's my basic shake that I really use all year long. But in the summertime, I like to add 1 tablespoon of coconut butter. It adds a creaminess to the shake and gives me the extra fatty acids I need for exposure to the summer sun and heat. You do not want to confuse coconut butter with coconut oil. Coconut butter is the whole coconut ground into butter. And for a summertime shake, I love the cooling effect of peppermint. So I add to my summertime shake 1 to 2 drops of peppermint essential oil or a half a teaspoon of peppermint extract, or most of the time, I simply go to my herb garden and cut a stem of fresh mint I have growing, and I strip the leaves and add them to the mixture. Then blend and enjoy. I hope you enjoy this delicious shake as much as I do. It is delicious and nutritious, and it just simply makes you feel good. And I think it is too good for me not to share with you. You can get all of these great ingredients to start making this delicious smoothie, as well as my favorite Try Best personal blender at breadbeckers.com. Lacuma powder is much more readily available here in the U.S. And again, you can find Lacuma powder along with Maca and cacao powders at our store in Woodstock or online at breadbeckers.com. I love my Try Best personal blender for this shake, as it is often my breakfast on the go. When I'm finished blending, I can just rinse the blade, grab my smoothie, and drink it right from the blender cup. Thank you for listening today. I think I'm going to go make a maca shake. Until next time, this is Sue Becker from Bread Beckers with Sue's Healthy Minutes.
Sue's Healthy Minutes podcast has been a presentation by the Bread Beckers Incorporated, located in Woodstock, Georgia. For more information, store hours, and learning opportunities, visit breadbeckers.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Make sure to subscribe to this podcast and never miss an episode. Share this with 2 friends who would benefit from this information, and be sure to join us again next week for more of Sue's Healthy Minutes.